O siêu nè gót, cả lẽ lấy chú kết đốc khởi hi quay blevins đào vật đông, hi nơ kì nè chả là kì, RSU TV, we gonna do go, tall school channel nè, chả là kì để lâu course đi kì. So, welcome, my name is Wade Blevins. I'm glad that I'm here. This is the 28th lesson. And this is Cherokee 4 here at RSU TV. As I said, most of these lessons are kind of interchangeable. They're not done in a way that, I mean, you can start with Cherokee 4 just almost as easily as you can Cherokee 1. The only difference being this class, I teach it all in syllabary. I don't use any kind of phonetic system. So, and I'm doing that just as much for you as it is for me, because our brains are by nature very lazy. And if we don't force ourselves to do it, we won't. So I'll find that even if I have the Cherokee syllabary and the phonetics next to it, I'll look at the phonetics every time, because that's what I'm more comfortable with reading. So in order to keep myself from cheating and to keep you from cheating, we're only going to use syllabary. Okay? So if you remember, we went through a story, right? This parable about the turtle riders. And again, this is a very, very old story. It's a traditional story. What we're going to do today is I came across in this same bulletin from 1967, I came across this short little, you can't even call it a story, this short little paragraph. But it's really easy to read. It's got a lot of great vocabulary in it that I was like, oh, I really want to bring this to you because there's some great words in it that you could probably use every day, So, and it's got some words that are said a little bit differently than how you might be used to seeing it. And so we're going to, again, talk about that. And so if we have time, we'll go through, well, you'll see. So come, Iralena, chalaki demoni. Okay, so we're going to skip through all this. This is what I was originally going to do for us today. We were going to do some review, but this is what we're going to do today. So if you see here, you've got a lot of individual words up here, which are really cool. And then it's got this paragraph right here. And that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to tackle this paragraph right here. Okay, then if we have time, we'll go back up through here and I'll go through all those words for you and we'll talk about them as well. So let's see if we can read the title. So here's the title right here. Okay. I'm going to read it as it is first, and then I'm going to read it as I would say it. So this says, Galihi e duchi zani. Okay? So originally I was like, okay, what is this word here? But then if you change, I've learned that whoever this speaker is, and maybe this is a common thing during this time period, but instead of using the kli, instead of using kli, they use li instead. But if you change this li to kli, ga klihi, edu jichan, okay, then that's like sleepy Uncle John, okay, gatliha or gatlihi. So gatli edu chichan So sleepy Uncle Eduji, John. So sleepy Uncle John. Okay? So here it is much closer. Maybe that's going to be. So we're going to read this first sentence. So I rewrote it down here so that we can read it together. So let's read through it together. A stu id ge sa di da ya la di ski. Okay? So, this first word, astuid, means it's turned on. Okay? So, astuid gesa, it was on. It was on. Okay? Astuid. Okay? Astuid means it's on. Okay? Astuid gesa means it was on. Okay? And that can be a light. It can be basically anything that you turn on. Okay? Gesa di da la diski. Okay? You might remember udayala tuski. We learned that word just not too long ago for television. Okay? This is the exact same word. This is the word for TV. It still means the same way, the same thing. That word udayalata, an image or a figure or a shadow, udayalata. But instead it has didayalata, okay? And then this diski means something that does it, right? So didayaladiski is another word for TV. So you might know the word another way, right? So adayalatanski, right? You might know that word. But this is the same word, didayaladiski. Comes from the same root. So, astuid gesa didayaldiski. Okay, the TV was on. The TV was turned on. Okay? Astuid gesa didayaldiski. Okay, didayaldiski. So you can choose which word you like the best. Adayalatanski or didayaldiski. They're both the same thing. Okay? Astuid gesa didayaldiski. Okay? Let's do the next one. Okay? This one is an interesting one. We'll read through it slow, then we'll see what. Okay, so this says, Anagaliski, Alistoidoti, Alstoidoti, Unoyaga, Soiyi. Okay, so Anagaliski, Anagali is lightning. Anagaliski is electric or electricity. Anagalisk is electricity. So in this case, we're going to translate it as electric. Anagaliski, alistoidot, alstoidoti is a shaver. Okay, so alstoyitote, alstoyitote is a shaver. So this is an electric razor, right? Anagaliski alstoyitote, electric razor, as opposed to a straight razor, right? So let me quickly look and let's see. Yep. Alstoitote. Alstoitote. So if you look on the Cherokee dictionary, this alstoitote is the same. And I wonder if the word deelstoit is related to that. I bet it is. Alstoitote, deelstoit. Deelstoit is scissors. Alstoitote is a razor. Anyway, unohyug, unohyug, unohyug. That's something making a sound. Okay, you may remember that we have that word nigawe, right? That's for an animal that makes a sound, right? You know, like wahya nigawe, the wolf is making a sound, or the wolf is howling, right? So, but this is unohyga. Unohyga is for anything to make a noise, okay? So, unohyga. Son-i ye. Son-i ye. Son-i ye. Son, or son-i means the next one. So, son-i ye in this case means in the next place, right? Or in the next room, right? Son-i ye. So you can see how that works. Son-i means the next one. Son-i ye means the next place, or in this case, in the next room. Anagalishki alstoitote unohyga son-i ye. Okay. The next sentence. Let me see if you can read this on your own. It's only got 3 words. All right. So we have this word gili, and I talked about, remember, if we change this li to tli, gitli, gitl, or gitli, okay? Ule-na-ha, da-si-wi-ska-i, da-si-wi-ska-i, da-si-wi-ska, okay? Gitli, dog. Ule-na-ha, started. Da-si-wi-ska, barking. Okay, da-si-wi-ska means bark. Okay, specifically. Okay, so da-si-wi-ska means to bark. Let me, I'm going to look it up. I just like to okay, in the in the dictionary, it has, instead of si, it has su. Da su huiska. da si huiska. Okay. So again, it's kind of a dialect thing. So gitli ulena da si huiska. So the dog started barking. Okay, so see, already we're learning some great words. We learned how to talk about something being turned on. We learned a new word for TV. We learned electric. We learned the word for razor. Yeah, I mean, almost every word in here, I think, to me is just gold, right? It's just so beneficial. All right, let's look at the next one. So the next one, I will let you see if you can read this one. Okay. So this says, Gohita, Gohita, Uno Hyega, Uno Hyega, Di no Heti. Okay, you may have heard me say Di no Heti, right? And if we change this li to tli, Di no Heti, Di no Heti. Okay, Di no Heti. Do you remember what that word is? Okay, it's the phone. Uno Hyega, Uno Hyega. We just had that word. Do you remember what that word means? That word means it made a noise, right? Uno Hyega. Gohid means a long time. So Gohida Uno Hyega Di no Heti. So the phone rang a long time, okay? The phone made a noise for a long time, okay? The phone rang for a long time. So I don't know Uno Hyega. That's the word I know for when the phone is ringing. That's the word I know. I don't know another word. Let me look it up. So let's see. No, that's not the right word. Yeah, it's just making a sound. Yeah. Yeah. Uno Hyeg. Yeah. Uno Hyeg. Gohid. Gohida Uno Hyeg di plino heti. See, I'm used to saying di plano heti. Okay. All right. So far we're learning a lot of good words. Let's look at this next. So, let me see if you can read the next one. So I'll give you a few seconds for you to read it by yourself. All right. So this is an interesting one. So we have the word educhi, Johnny. gonna, gone, son, yi. Okay. Ale, di, skano, que, sa'i. Di, skano. Okay, so this is really cool. So Educhi means uncle. Johnny, Uncle John. Gone, was laying. Gunk, was laying there. So in the next room, right? Remember we talked about that word. So means next. So the next place. So Uncle John was laying in the next room. Ale di skana. Okay. So we learned the word that gana or gun that gana makes it negative. Okay. You might be familiar with the word hadid, right? Hadid, get up, right? Means get up from a laying down position. Okay, udidi skana means would not get up, and he would not get up. Gesai was, right? So udidi skana, he wouldn't get up. Gesai. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, I'm going to give you just a few seconds for you to do this yourself. Read through it. See how much of it you can figure out. Okay, and okay, so this is Johnny. Dinadonately. Usuligoza. Alstoyeska. Junagoza. Ale. Ustune. Didayoladiski. Okay, let's take it one. How much of that did you get? Probably not a lot, but maybe. John, right? Dean Donatli, his brother, Dean Donatli. So John's brother, Usuligoza, he stopped, he quit. Usuligoza means he quit, right? Usuligoza, he quit. Alstoyeska, shaving. Alstoyeska, he was shaving. So he quit shaving. Junagoza, he came out. Junagoza, then he came out. Ale, ustune. Okay, we learned astuid means to be on. Ustune means he turned it off. Ustune, he turned it off. Okay. Didayoldiski. Okay, do you remember Didayoldiski? Is television, the TV. And he turned the TV off, right? Ustune. means to turn it off, right? Okay. Johnny, donetly, usuligoja, alstoyeska, junagoja, ale, ustune, didayoldiski. Okay, so John's brother stopped shaving and came out and turned the TV off, turned off the TV. Okay? Here's this one. I'll give you a few minutes to read through this one yourself. Okay, so this first word, dilinoheti, ditlinoheti, the phone. Ulehuistana, stopped. Ulehuistana. Okay. Sometimes if you're driving around, like particularly if you're going around Tahlequah, sometimes you'll see stop signs and they say alehuista, right? And ulehuistana, okay, stopped. Unohyga. So remember what is unohyga? Means making a sound, so, or ringing, right? So the phone stopped ringing. Ditlinoheti ulehuistana unohyga. The phone stopped ringing. Okay. Okay, here's a long one. It seems like that's how it happens. You get some really nice short sentences in Cherokee, and then you get these like big, long ones. So this one, I think this is the last sentence. But really, again, this is one of those sentences that you could divide in a couple of ones. But let's see if you can read it first, see what you can figure out, and then we'll go through it. Okay, so this says gili, but we know that it means gitli, uwasa. Okay, may remember the word uwasa. Uwasa means by themselves, right, or by himself or by herself. Gitli uwasa, the dog by itself. Ustuisa, opened. Ustuisa, opened. Gitli uwasa ustuisa. So the dog opened by himself. Galohisti, the door. So the dog opened the door by himself. Gitli uwasa ustuisa galohisti. Ale, and educhino, and then Uncle John, and Uncle John, asiwu, still, just still, asiwu, still, gatli hewu. Okay, again, this is gali hewu, but we know that the li is a tli, so gatli hewu, just slept. So Uncle John still just slept. Nahiyu, when, Skeetly, the dog. Juyela, Galohisti. When he came in the door, Juyela, Juyela, Galohist, when he came in the door. Okay, so this one says the dog opened the door by himself, and Uncle John was still asleep when the dog opened the door. Okay, so see, it's a super simple paragraph. Didn't take long for us to work our way through it, but there's a lot of great information in it. Almost every word in there, I feel like you could put to use, right? So let's go through and let's look at these words that are up here. There's some words up here that I think you might find beneficial as well. So we have this word here, gahe, gahe. Gahe is a bobcat. Okay, you might already know that word. Hestin, hestin is a very important word. It means quit it or stop that. Hestin means don't do that, right? There's usually in Cherokee communities, there's a joke that goes around and they say, oh, you know, especially when they start talking about Cherokee names, you know, and they say, oh, you know, for the first 5 years of my life, I thought my Cherokee name was Hestin, right? And so, because that's what Grandma used to say to me all the time, right? So that's a very, you'll hear it a lot. So, Gahe, bobcat. Hestin, knock it off, quit it, don't do that. Osta, osta, you should know that word by now. Good. Okay. Eheste, eheste. He will continue to live. Eheste. Okay. Don't get it confused with the word ehiste. Eheste. Ehe, right? He lived. Eheste. He'll continue to live. Okay. This one here, Ogidoda, Ogidoda, our Father. Yeah, all of our Father, right? Ogi, our, Ogidod. So you'll hear that. You know, God our Father, who lives in heaven, right? Or who lives up above, right? You hear people pray and start that way a lot. Sanoi, Sanoi means nighttime. Sanoi, nighttime. Okay. Ojidona, Ojidona, Ojidona means we're standing. Ojidona, we're standing. The next word, Jiu, Jiu, is a boat. Can also be a plane. Jiu. Okay. This one here, Agehuta, Agehuta. You should know this word. Or Agehuta, girl. This one, Jiukt, Jiukta, or Jiukti. And here it says Jiukti. I've heard it say Jiukta a lot. Jiukt. That's something that's straight. Jiukt means straight. Jiukta. This one, Gatli so doti, Gatli so doti, Gatli so doti. That's the word for a rake. That's a new word for me, so I'm going to look it up in the, real quickly, I'm going to look it up. Yep, that's what they have, gatlisototi. In the dictionary as well, gatlisototi. Okay, this next word is, this says diuga, diuga. I don't know this word either, diuga, but I know that it means jaw, diuga. In the dictionary, the word for, I think this one would be jaws plural, right? Diuga would be jaws. In the dictionary, there are different words to say jaw. They have ayugain, ayugain. They have dikayuga, dikayuga. Okay, so diyuga and dikayuga, very close to each other, right? It's just leaving out that ka sound. Ayugain, dikayuga, diyuga, duyugatla, duyugatla is another word for jaw. So diyuga is jaws, I believe. Atlilost, atlilosti. This is, we've learned this word sutlilod and atlilost. It's a measure word, right? Atlilost is a ruler, okay? Like, not a ruler like a king or a chief or something like that. Atlilost is like a ruler you measure with. Atlilost, something you measure with, okay? Okay, this one, di da tli lo sto di da tli lo sto di da tli lo sto di. Okay, it's for the word like to draw. It's related to the word for drawing. Di da tli lo sto di, something that makes drawings, or a camera. Didatlilostoti. This is the word for a camera. Camera, didatlilostoti. And then this one says uga wiyuhi tegesa. Uga wiyuhi tegesa. That means he was the chief, or she was the chief. It could be either one. Uga wiyuhi tegesa. Remember we talked about this word tegesa. Is used a lot particularly by old Cherokees, but a lot of younger Cherokee people are starting to pick this back up because it's a part of our culture that we really don't want to see go away. When somebody passes, when somebody dies, a lot of times behind their name we will put the word tegesa, tegesa. That means used to be, that used to be. Okay, so, and it's the same here. Uga wiyuhi tegesa, the one that used to be the chief, right? The chief that used to be. You know, and sometimes, like I said, we use this word tegesa after somebody passes away. We use this word. Some people don't use it, you know, they may use it for, 6 months to a year afterwards. Some people use it, all the time after they pass. And it has to do with our belief about names and how important names are. And at least this is how I was told, is that after somebody passes, there's a certain amount of time that the spirit remains here on earth, and it visits the places that were important to them, and it kind of lingers for a certain amount of time. And during that time, if we continue using their name, it's kind of like pulling them back to us. And so if we continue to use their name, they kind of tend to think that they're still alive, right? And they're still held here. So then we use the word tegesa to let the spirit know that they used to be that person. They're no longer that person anymore, that they've traveled on, you know. So that's traditionally why we used that word jagesa a long, long time ago. And like I said, there are a lot of young people that are using it again. You know, that was something that our old folks used to do. And so I'm happy to see that a lot of young people are picking that back up and using it again. So, and now you kind of know the reason why. So let's go through, and then we have our paragraph, right? So let's go through and read it a couple of times. I'll read it through super, super slow, then we'll read it a little bit faster. Then I'll see if you remember what some of these words are. So, this says, Gatlihi eduji jani. Astuid gesa didayaldiski. Okay, remember didayaldiski is television. Anagaliski alstoyito alstoitote. Had to think about it. Alstoitote. Uno hyagan. Made a noise, right? So iyi. Gitli. Ulena dasi whiska. Gohid uno hyagan. Ditlino heti. Educhi chan. Ganka. So iyi. Ale na didi skana. I think I wrote that wrong when I wrote it. Let me look back here. Let me find it. Yep, I wrote it wrong. I wrote ooh. Yeah, this makes much more sense. Na didi skana. Gesai. Johnny Dindanetli Usuligoza Alstoyeska Junagoza Ale Ustune Didayaldiski Di tlinohe di ulewistana uno hyaga gitli uwasa ustuisa galohisti ale educhino jani asiwu Gatli hewo na hiu gitli juyela galohisti. Okay, so I had to think through it, right? You know, it takes a little bit. So let's read through it one more time, and then we'll talk about individual words. So it says, Gatlihi educhichan astuid gesa didayaldiski anagaliski alstoyitote uno hyaga so iye gitli ulenaha dasihuiska gohid uno hyaga ditlinoheti educhichan ganka so iyi ale na didiskano gesai jani dindanatli usuligoza alstoyeska junagoza ale ustune Didayultiski. Ditleno heti ule huistana uno hirga. Gitli uwasa ustu isa galohisti ale edujino jani asiwo gatli hewo nahi yu gitli juyala galohisti. Okay, so the word gatohyat didayultiski. Television. Okay. Gatohyat astuid gesa. Astuid gesa means it was on. Can also means it was open. If you look through right here, ustuisa and astuid, okay? In this case, ustuisa means he opened it. Astuid means it was open or it was turned on, okay? So astuid gesa means it was opened or it was turned on. Anagaliski, katohyat anagaliski. Electricity. Katohyat alstoitoti. Alstoitoti is a razor. Alstoitoti. Katohyat unohyaga. Unohyaga means it made a noise. Katohyat gitli. Dog, right? Katohyat ustune means to turn off or to close it. Okay, ustune. He turned it off or he closed it. Katohyat ditlinoheti. A phone. Katohyat ulewistana. Means stopped. It stopped, right? Katohyat usulegoza. Katohyat usulegoza means he quit, right? Okay, so we're just about at the end of our time that we have. So I just want to say thank you, Wadong. I appreciate you being in the class. Like I said, to me, this was one of the best paragraphs we've done. There's a lot of great information in there. So continue to keep working on it. Listen to it as many times as you like. From all of us here at RSU TV and Cherokee Nation, Wadong. Thanks.